Hey everybody, if you've watched through the entire last video of 10 minutes, then you know that I got a lot more to say about smart people and their confidence. What's lacking in their confidence and how to boost it. And the way that I have these insights so clear for you to consume is because they are things that were very valuable in my life, and I can recognize that it's not just my life that it was all about. It can be your life. You can be a smart person that will gain confidence by just logically thinking about it, thinking about how to solve the problem of lacking confidence. So I'm not at the stenen kamer anymore, the stone room, because they go on, but I still on this train of thought, and I really want to finish it with the second part of the problem and the second part of the solution. So the second part of the problem, why smart people lack confidence, is because of the opinions of others. Other people's opinions of smart people is when you're at that point that you've seen so many times in your life that you're just right. You just know stuff that not everybody knows. And you can be confident about it. And what happens when you express that? People will see it as arrogant. But think about it logically. Is it arrogant? No, it's not. Let's think it out why it is not arrogant to know that you know things better, and why people usually think that if you think you know things better, then you're arrogant. Well, the reason why people think that thinking that you know things better is arrogant, because they're taught that that is what the word means. People don't like if you think that you know stuff better. That's why they have this perfect defense that every time that you think you know something better, they can say, "Ha, you think you know something better? That's very arrogant of you." But it's not. It's not arrogant, because what is the definition for arrogance that you should use? The definition of arrogance that you should use is people are arrogant if they claim to know or to be something or somebody that they're not. That's arrogant. And therefore, somebody who has a lesser claim can be arrogant than somebody who has a big claim. So let's put the test to the gym. Let's use some practical fake weights. If you go to the gym and you say, "Yeah, I can for sure bench press 10 pounds." It sounds like a lot, so you cannot be arrogant. But if you cannot, then you're arrogant. How can you say you can if you can't? That's a bluff. You're arrogant. Well, it might not be a bluff. He might just judge himself wrongly. But that's arrogant. But when you say I can bench press 100 pounds, and you can even bench press 110, then you're not arrogant. So, but still, the problem has not been solved yet, not completely. But even though you know that you're not arrogant for thinking that you know better than the other people might still think that you're arrogant because you think you know something better than the other. How to solve this solution? Well, inspiration for this solution came from the stand-up circles, stand-up comedians. And there's two visions that I've heard, two completely different versions. And one vision I hate, And the other version I love and I think you should use to boost your confidence. Well, the first thing about how a comedian should respond when you're bombing on a crowd, when it's not going well, when you get booed out. Well, one insignificant comedian gave the advice to always take it personally, because it's your job as a comedian to make them laugh. And if they don't laugh, if they say they hate your show, then it's your failing and you didn't do your job correctly. And go back to rewrite or time better or whatever. But you failed at your job because they don't like you. Your job was to make them like you. And you failed. Yeah, that's a bullshit way of looking at life. Well, the great George Carlin said, and every smart person should know that George Carlin is a genius, a great genius, one of the greatest geniuses ever. George Carlin, rest in peace. That George Carlin said laid back in an interview, he said, if you're bombing, you should always blame the crowd. If it went well one day and it doesn't go good the next day, then it's a stupid audience. They don't know what they're talking about. And you should think like that because you're a professional and you know what you do to make your work right. And they don't know what your profession is. So if they think it's wrong, well, what do they know? It's not their job. So F it. F their opinions, you know? And that's for gifted people also. 1 in 45 people is gifted. So if you're gifted and you're in a classroom, then you will come up with great solutions, great ideas that the others just aren't smart enough to get. So if they think it's not smart, if they think you're arrogant, then they just not smart enough to know how good it is. And that's the second part, how you deal with the confidence problem. You're not arrogant, you should know that, and if they think you are, it's their fault. Don't take their opinions so seriously, you know? So, how many more tips are there about confidence? Well, who knows? But this is it for today. In the same clothing on the second location. See you next time. Bye-bye.